not with the way it currently is.
Today,
Oh, Brandon came out with a fucking Mac attack? I didn't even know that. When did this happen?
it's not hyperbole to suggest a very solemn moment. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans. But they did it. It's a sad day for the court and for the country. 50 years ago, Roe v. Wade was decided and has been the law of the land since then. This landmark case protected women's right to choose, her right to make intensely personal decisions with her doctor, free from the interference of politics. It reaffirmed basic principles of equality, that women have the power to control their own destiny, and it reinforced a fundamental right of privacy, a right of each of us to choose how to live our lives. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk. As chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, as vice president and now as president of the United States, I've studied this case carefully. I've overseen more Supreme Court confirmations than anyone today, where this case was always discussed. I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy. A decision with broad national consensus that most Americans of faith and backgrounds found acceptable, and that have been the law of the land for most of the lifetime of Americans today. And it was a constitutional principle upheld by justices appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents alike. Roe v. Wade was a 7-2 decision, written by a justice appointed by a Republican president, Richard Nixon. In the 5 decades that followed Roe v. Wade, justices appointed by Republican presidents from Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan, George W. Bush, were among the justices who voted to uphold the principles set forth in Roe v. Wade. It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision to upend the scales of justice and eliminate a fundamental right for women in this country. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law. It's a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error by the Supreme Court, in my view. The court has done what it has never done before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans that had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls were forced to bear their rapist's child.
Yeah, I mean, look, wrap it up, Joe. But I don't know if this is fucked up or not to say, but look, Congress can never find the votes to codify Roe v. Wade, right? The Democrats, even when they have a filibuster-proof majority, it's not enough. Republicans will never vote on it. And when it comes down to gun laws, gun legislation that would protect regular American citizens, children in schools and whatnot, Congress can't find any fucking bipartisan compromise. But when it comes down to it, they found unanimous consent to make sure that SCOTUS justices were protected after their violent decisions harming women. Okay? I'm going to say R. It is, once again, another great example of like all this fucking talk, all this yapping, all this talk is just for nothing. Okay, it's to sedate you. It's to make you feel as though they're doing something, that they're like on your side, but their actions show a different reality. They're only on your side and they only fucking fight. They're only getting shit done when it comes to expanding and inflating the military budget, giving more guns and more weapons and more fucking funding for police. They're only finding bipartisan compromise when it comes down to increasing America's military state, surveillance state, and cutting tax for the wealthy and corporations, deregulating industries. It's never it's never to protect you, the average citizen. Okay, just the truth. A real post from Donald Trump Jr. on Truth Social. If you're wondering what this is really about, the ex-president's family. Obama making fun of Trump at a dinner in 2011. Roe v. Wade overruled. That's awesome, dude. Fuck around and find out. Donald Trump Jr. is yet another example of someone who should have been fucking aborted. I am surprised he wasn't. Oh, shit. We could get Jay Bowie on right now. New York Times' very own columnist, Jamel Bowie. He's a New York Times opinion columnist and a CBS News analyst. I think he can come on to talk to us about like what is to be done, what can happen. He is one of those people who is like kind of leftist in comparison to the rest of the New York Times op-ed team, obviously. He's the man. He's great. So let's see if I can grab him real quick. He has 20 minutes to talk. On. Hopefully I can get him on.
Child, a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child of incest as a consequence of incest. No option. Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest. It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale.
Dude, I can't, like, the guy, okay, here's another insane thing to consider. And I've talked about this before, but like, Joe Biden is almost directly responsible for Clarence Thomas, okay? Like, the person whose opinion that we read, Clarence Thomas, like Joe Brandon was literally responsible for Clarence Thomas being appointed to the Supreme Court under George H.W. Bush. Like, he literally defended Clarence Thomas in the Anita Hill conversation. How crazy. How fucking crazy, dude. Democrats always fundraising. Yep, there it is. This was devastating to myself and so many across the country. As a direct result, several Republicans... Look, any Democrat that's using this opportunity as a way to fucking fundraise for themselves and not for fucking abortion fundraisers, abortion charities, they're freaks. They're twisted, sick fucks, okay? Straight up. It's so disgusting, dude. Democrat moment, always. Another Democratic moment, dude. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this already. Yeah. A Senate committee controlled by Democrats has taken Biden's record-setting $800 billion plus proposed defense budget and added another $45 billion. Yeah. He did that. That's bipartisan compromise.
Now, the court literally taking America back 150 years. This is a sad day for the country, in my view. But it doesn't mean the fight's over. Let me be very clear and unambiguous. The only way we can secure women's right to choose, the balance that existed, is for Congress to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade as federal law. No executive action from the president can do that. And if Congress, as it appears, lacks the votes to do that now, voters need to make their voices heard. This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land. We need to elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe is on the ballot.
What? It's already off the ballot.
Freedom.
It's, what do you mean, dude? Vote harder, Jack. It wasn't enough this time around, but next time we'll get them. Why? Dude, how do you instill confidence in an American voter population that's already like incredibly upset and jaded and doesn't care to fucking vote by telling them like, this time if you vote a little bit fucking harder, like we're really going to do it. He's telling Congress to do it, which is what you said they should do. I just don't understand. First of all, it's not even true. It's literally not even true. There is not enough. Okay. There are not enough fucking votes out there to even get like a 60, get the 60 Democrats necessary. In that circumstance, even if you got 60, you would still have spoilers within the Democratic Party. You know, the fucking sharks would come out. Just like, back in the Obama era, when abortion was still incredibly fucking, again, codifying Roe v. Wade was an incredibly popular policy provision, which Obama ran on and then refused to fucking codify. Same with fucking Brandon. He ran on fucking codifying Roe v. Wade as well. I mean, look, yeah, Ginsburg's deaths put Roe v. Wade on the ballot in November. Like, they ran on this shit.